It's the first one of these. These great big classic Oriental poppies. Double blooms. All of these buds here that are all fuzzy will all be exactly like that. It's the newest thing to bloom. Just happened today. We got daffodils that carry us to that point, which is nice. And the thing that happens in between are these big blue allium bulbs, which I'm hoping will divide enough that I can have a bunch more over time. I really appreciate them. After the poppies, we'll probably start to see lilies blooming. And then, of course, there's, in addition to the stunner decoratives, there's things like, I noticed that the comfrey is opening up today. Look at this asparagus starting to get leggy on me. I can't eat enough of it. Uh-oh. Oh no. I saw an asparagus beetle, but it jumped before I could squish it. There's a bunch. There's two in here. Let's see if we can catch them. The best bet with these guys is to catch him and squish him. Now that he's squished, we can look at him. And here's another one. There were two on there. I only ended up catching one. And here's another one. Oh, that one got away. There were gaps in my fingers. That's the one thing that can definitely kill your asparagus. Basically, as soon as I see them, it's time to start letting the asparagus grow up so that it's stronger to deal with them. I find that they're more likely to show up on years when I eat off of it pretty heavily in the early spring. A little bit less likely when the plant gets real strong ahead of time. So I'm probably going to have to put down some granules through here. Organic ones, don't worry. Just to help make sure they don't, lay a bunch of eggs and go off like crazy. We were going to go look at the comfrey, but I grabbed a weed in the meantime that needed to go in the bin over there. The rhubarb's doing great. This is my perpetual rhubarb. It stays super sweet all year long. I love it. You can see how the kiwi is starting to rebound. We definitely won't get any fruit this year. But all these black, crusty leaves, but I'm getting some new ones here and there. I don't know, this might be a good year to cut it back real hard and just have it be a couple of stumps. And that's it. Because it's not a very good producer, especially not when it gets leggy. Still haven't done the Saskatoon runners or the cherry trees that are popping up. Back here, I've grabbed several cherry trees that I'm pretty sure will end up being black cherries, and they're potted in tiny little pots, waiting to see how they do. Woodruff, sweet woodruff, that's a European plant. Pretty decent ground cover though. The Monarda isn't even thinking about blooming yet. But that's this plant over here. Mint family. It's what gives Earl Grey its signature taste. And of course we've got strawberry flowers, violet, the Flowers and the raspberries are finally actually opening up here. That's nice. More of those globe type alliums. Some chickweed that probably shouldn't be there. Yeah, those are the bees love these. It's really cute. And then there's peonies that want to get going eventually. That's the little reddish ball right there. These will be white alliums. Even bigger than those, but shorter, which is good because then they don't fall over. The sage is starting to bloom, which is very nice. And we're starting to get comfrey blooms here too. Just a couple of them opened so far. The rest are still uncurling. And these ones, I think, yeah, those ones got frost damage during that snowstorm we had like a week ago. So weird because I'm in sleeveless shorts and it's really, really bizarre. Sorry, it took me a minute to reorient myself there. That it's so warm now, but it snowed a week ago. Like, what? And I'm toasty warm. Like, I could go swimming today. There's all these little native rusty patch bumblebees flying around. They're going after the Creepin' Charlie here, which is edible, but very invasive, will take over. Kind of hard to stop it. But the rusty patch bumblebees are at least loving it. At least they're getting something out of this. And then I think this is amusing because it's like battle of the invasives over here. And I think I'm going to let the nitrogen fixer go and let it in this lawn area because it's so low growing. Let it compete with the Creeping Charlie because it's low growing ones that I want to prioritize. And if it's strong enough to choke out everything else, including Creeping Charlie, I mean, look at that. Then these little low growing white clovers are fine with me. We'll let them have their moment. Goodness. Standing back up, yay. Another nitrogen fixer that I use in a low-growing setting. Oh, these ones are getting ready to bloom, too. Are these great big red clovers. They're big and floppy, and I think they're not biennials. They're like triennials. They live 3 years, and then they go. They seed pretty well, but not so aggressively. I learned something so interesting, and that is that there are both native columbines and non-native. I have a non-native columbine, so I have to take it off of the natives list, and I will be seeking seeds for the native type. But I do have those pretty little things available, and this is Oriental Columbine, doing really well. So yeah, this is the nursery section. A little frustrated with how much the Creeping Charlie is going through here. I always weed that out before I send a plant along, but it's frustrating. Another nitrogen fixer right here is Black Medic. Another invasive, but again, better than Creeping Charlie, because at least it contributes nitrogen to the soil. In my opinion, that makes it better. Creeping Charlie has edible properties, but I don't find it too tasty. It's just too peppery and everything. Not a fan. We saw yesterday that the elderberry is starting to bud, but the buds are still super tiny. I think I see one that's getting a little bit bigger up here. Yeah, here we go. But they start out small like that, and even smaller tucked between the leaves. Like, here we go. There's one that's so small compared to how big the blooms get, like that size. Yeah, so I think that's everything that's blooming today. That and a whole bunch of garlic mustard down the hill. And I did see buds coming in on some of the slope. The slope gets better solar gain because it's east-south, so it's not perfect. So the sunrise is there, but it does get a better solar gain than flat ground, just because, you know how like you angle a solar panel to catch as much sun as possible? Yeah, same thing with hills, but with heating up soil. The spiderwort is starting to bud down there, but that's really the only thing that's starting to bud up down there. I've started to transplant also some violets down, because I think that'd be a really nice addition to everything. So, yep, gorgeous day. Week after it snowed, I wish I could get to a swimming pool. Our swimming pools, even if we didn't have lockdown, usually don't open until school ends, and it's ironic. Okay, Black Hawk. You see it? It just went behind the tree, going behind the tree. There we go. They don't open until school ends because, well, they used to open in May, and it's not because of temperature, it's because they don't have the funding to pay anybody but high school kids to be the like caretakers of the pool and the lifeguards and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of annoying, but the trouble is that a lot of times our best warm days are in May anymore. It didn't used to be that way. I don't think it used to be that way, but I do remember being able to go to my friend's pool as a kid, and those always being the better days for swimming were the days that the pool was closed. At the like swimming pool that eventually we got a membership at, but I don't know how worth it was. We enjoyed our summers though; they were nice. I grew up not far from here, 8 miles that way. I was born in a place that you can't see through the trees as far as the hospital. Yep. Alright, long video tour of flowers. I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it to the end of this, you definitely are a trooper, and also you must like my content, so you may as well subscribe, right? I hear YouTubers say that all the time, and I'm going to start trying it and see if it helps. Yeah, so I've got quail going on. I've got a cat that thinks it's a gargoyle. Little baby kitten that's growing up. Check out my playlists. There are gardening videos by month. There's raising the quail. There's a kitten playlist. Water management, because this property floods real bad sometimes. So water management playlist. Yeah, check it out if you feel like it. And I hope you're having a really, really good Sunday. I gotta put the rest of this plant coverings away. That was covering the apple. And now it's just hanging on a fence. I had one more, and now I got this one to put away, so kind of a scruffy view. We'll try this one, or that one, or this one, but oh well. Take care. Bye.